Hi, welcome to my channel, played by Dave. I'm Dave, obviously. This series, I'm doing my own sort of challenge with Liverpool. I'm calling it Hometown Heroes. Liverpool are, well, as anyone who's been watching this year, been shocking. So the challenge I've set myself is to win the Champions League with a team comprised entirely of, let's say starting 11, comprised entirely of players born within Merseyside. So any of the towns or cities born within Merseyside have to feature. So it's going to rely a lot on finding young players from the youth team who are going to train on and get good, essentially. So yeah, you might be wondering why I'm outdoors instead of inside. The simple answer is I have to walk my dog. The other is I kind of feel like Football Manager, when you're really into it, it follows you everywhere. Doesn't matter if you're at the desk or at work or doing anything else. So I figured I'd just kind of shoot it out here, retrospectively look back at stuff. So let's talk tactics. I've kind of been using the same tactics for the last 2 or 3 games now, just with minor tweaks on each one. I do have some backup ones. I have a formation that kind of goes a bit more condensed in the midfield. And my latest one is I found, not so much on FM20 or 21, but definitely 22, and it carried on this one, that if a team plays a 4-4-2, just a flat 4-4-2 against me, I really struggle. So I have a 5 forward formation that kind of pins them back into their own half. It's also quite useful when you're playing those teams that play 3 at the back as well. So we're thinking coming to sign-ins. Sorry, my dog's just in the river. Liverpool have a preference to sign under 23 players. It's not a requirement. I've never really pushed it far enough to see if you're going to get penalised for it or anything. So I'm thinking if I sign players who are predominantly 25 to 27 years of age, then they'll age out of the squad faster, like 3-5 years tops, which gives kids in the reserves and the under 18s time to train on and become better. So that's the kind of transfers we're going to be looking for. So players to watch at the moment, Curtis Jones in the first team. His stats are decent enough. I don't think he's good enough to warrant a first team start. I think he's going to be playing second string to Thiago or others. And Tyler Morton, who's currently out on loan at Blackburn, could be a good player in the future. There's also a winger/forward at Leeds, Joe Gelhardt, who I'm keeping an eye on. If he trains on even a little bit this season, then he might be worth trying to squeeze in for 30 or 40 mil. So yeah, going forward then, my first team when I was looking at it is Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Konate and Van Dijk at centre back, Robertson at left back, Fabinho holding midfielder, Keita was going to be my box to box midfielder, with Thiago as my Mezzala. I like Mezzala more than I do the central attacking midfield role. Sometimes I just think it gives you a bit more width, makes it a bit more dynamic. I'm embedding Harvey Elliott onto the right wing and just leaving him there. I think he's at that point now in the game where you can just kind of give him game time and he'll improve. Luis Diaz is going to be on my left wing and Salah up front, which kind of left me, I'll show you the second string. I'm light with a box-to-box midfielder and a good cover for Fabinho. So that's what I was going to be shopping for, and then Naby Keita decided that he wanted to consider his options at the end of his contract, so he was off as quickly as I can. So I had two slots of box-to-box midfielders, and the reason I've got 2 is because of the number of players I was looking to move out. Jordan Henderson was at the top of that list. This isn't me trying to get into how he's playing now, but I just don't think he's cut out for it at the level I want Liverpool to be playing at, and the type of football I want to be playing, where I want the ball moved around fast. He's still very much a short, simple passes kind of midfielder, and it's not what I was after. So my players that left, there's Adrian left. I sold Naby Keita to Man City, got a good deal for him. Nat Phillips moved on. I sold Roberto Firmino as well. He left the club. Again, nothing against him, he's a hard worker. If he was younger and I could retrain him to be a midfielder, he'd have been a perfect box-to-box midfielder, but he's 30, 31. Paris Saint-Germain were going to offer good money for him, so he's gone. Oxlade-Chamberlain went as well. Again, for similar reasons. If he was younger and I could train him on more, but he's not gonna fit that position kind of anymore. So they went off. Players that I brought in John McGinn from Villa. He's hard working. He's English, which helps me fill that kind of squad registration need. I thought long and hard, and I brought in my biggest transfer of the window was Declan Rice. He cost probably around 80 odd million. I brought him in from West Ham to basically take the place of Fabinho, because Fabinho is decent, but Declan Rice is just as good, and he's only something like 22, 23, so he's going to train on and become, hopefully, a world beater. And then my box-to-box midfielder is a player I've probably bought every single game for, I don't know, the last 4 or 5 games now. And that's Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio. Because he's basically Steven Gerrard. When you look at his stats and the way he plays, it's like having a Gerrard back into your side. So he was the ideal kind of candidate to sit in that box-to-box midfield role. And that led to our first game of the season, which was the Community Shield against Man City, which we, let's say, comfortably won 2-0. Goals from Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez, who was on after Salah took a knock. John McGinn set up that goal, I believe, so it's good to get in the assists right away. And then, annoyingly, we ended up playing Man City again at the start of the season. We scraped winning that 2-1. Thiago got a goal. Haaland, the overpowered monster that he is, scored for them. And Luis Diaz got a goal for us in injury time, which makes it 2-1 for us. So, season's starting well. I like the shape of the team. I've liked the way they played, more importantly, in those opening 2 games. So yeah, have to tune in next episode to see where we're at. Well, I'm going to try and keep these videos at, like, I don't know, 8 to 10 minutes, just quick hits, looking back. Probably usually going to be doing something, because, you know, I have this lunatic that I've got to keep walking, you know, and I work as well, so trying to find time to squeeze it all in can be difficult. So I think the next video I'll probably go from second game of the season up to the January transfer window. Then we'll do the January transfer window, do the next portion of the season, and then pick up with the last episode being the end of the season, probably that, like, you know, end of April forward to the cup finals, if hopefully, touch wood, we're in any. I say touch wood, I should probably touch a tree or something. So yeah, tune back next time. You know the drill, the whole like, share, subscribe thing. It's really helpful, because this is my first video and all that. So from me and my idiot of a dog, I'll see you soon.